you for cheering for me for now.
Win or lose tomorrow, I think it's great for me to learn. Obviously, facing a player like Coco is, something people would kill to do.
Yeah, thank you guys for all the support.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that some of you guys were cheering for me, so I appreciate it a lot, and I hope you guys enjoy the next match.
Win or lose tomorrow, I think it's great for me to learn. Obviously, facing a player like Coco is, something people
We're happy to be playing with Alex and hope you guys keep supporting us. Alex Eala and her fans have done it once again, and this time they showed up in the biggest way possible for Coco Gauff in her match against Mertens. The energy in the stadium was electric, and a huge reason for that was the overwhelming presence of Ayala's passionate fan base. These fans did not come to sit quietly. They came to make noise, and they did exactly that, cheering for Coco Gauff at every single strike of the ball, rallying behind her like she was one of their own. The atmosphere was absolutely incredible, and it played a real role in how the match unfolded. When Coco Gauff walked away with the win against Mertens, she did not waste any time in acknowledging the role that Ayala's fans played in that victory. She stepped forward, looked into the crowd, and genuinely thanked every single Eala fan who was there supporting her through that crucial matchup. But she did not stop at just saying thank you. Coco went a step further. She acknowledged that the stardom surrounding Alex Eala is absolutely real. That is not a small thing coming from someone of Coco Gauff's stature. When a champion of Coco's caliber looks at a rising star and says, yes, this person is a phenomenon, it means everything. It validates what Ayala's fans have been saying all along, and it sends a message to the entire tennis world that this young woman from the Philippines is not just a feel-good story. She is a genuine force to be reckoned with. And then came the press conference, where Alex Eala herself took things to a whole new level. She stood in front of the media and spoke from the heart, declaring that she believes there is no bigger opportunity in her career right now than the chance to face Coco Gauff herself on the court in a competition of this magnitude. Those words hit differently. She said that facing Coco is a dream come true for her, and she described it as the kind of opportunity that an athlete would do anything to get. Think about what that says about Ayala's mentality. She is not afraid of Coco Gauff. She is excited about her. She sees the challenge as a privilege, and that kind of fearless mindset is exactly what separates great players from merely good ones. Eala is not just happy to be here. She wants to compete at the very highest level, and she is letting everyone know it.
Hi everybody, it's Alex and Coco here. Thank you so much for all the support that you've been giving us this week, and hopefully in our next match, a lot of you will come out and watch.
The respect between Coco Gauff and Alex Eala is mutual, deep, and it is growing stronger every time they share a court or a spotlight. But here is where things get really interesting, because not everyone is happy about this connection. Not everyone is celebrating the rise of Eala and the powerful bond forming between her and Coco. And that person, if you have been paying attention, is none other than Aryna Sabalenka. She cannot stand to watch Coco's continued rise in the sport, and now with players like Eala stepping into the conversation, the situation is becoming even more uncomfortable for her. Sabalenka has built her identity on dominance, on being the player who crushes everything in her path, and for a while that worked. But now the landscape is shifting. Coco Gauff is not going anywhere, and in fact, she is getting better and building alliances along the way. Players like Eala are coming through, hungry, talented, and ready to compete at every single tournament. The dominance that Sabalenka has enjoyed is being challenged from multiple directions, and she does not like it one bit. The look on her face when she sees this kind of chemistry and collaboration forming between players like Coco and Eala says everything you need to know. This is not just competition on the court anymore. This is a changing of the guard happening in real time, and Sabalenka knows it. Now let us talk about what makes this connection between Coco Gauff and Alex Eala so special, because it goes well beyond fan support and press conference quotes. These two have been building something real together. When they both competed at the Australian Open, Coco was right there alongside Eala, not just as a competitor, but as a mentor, as a guide, as someone genuinely invested in helping a younger player unlock her full potential. Coco was offering tips, sharing insights, and breaking down the technical details that she has picked up from years of competing at the absolute highest level of the game. She was explaining the mechanics of the serve, walking Eala through the nuances that separate a good serve from a great one, the kind of details that only someone who has faced the best players in the world, week after week, truly understands. And Eala was soaking it all in. She was not passive. She was not just nodding along. She was asking questions, experimenting with different techniques, pushing herself in real time, and the results were visible to everyone watching. You could literally see her serve improve over the course of those sessions. That is extraordinary. That is the kind of transformation that takes some players months or even years to achieve. And she was doing it in a matter of days because she had the right teacher and the right mindset to take full advantage of the opportunity. Those training sessions also gave everyone a clear picture of where both players stand right now. Coco Gauff, even in practice, even when things are supposed to be relaxed and low pressure, looks powerful, sharp, and dominant. She is operating at an elite level, and the gap in experience and development between her and Eala is still visible. There is no shame in that. Coco is one of the best players in the world, a major champion who has proven herself on every surface and against every type of opponent. She is still ahead of Eala in many aspects of the game, and that is completely natural, given where each of them is in their respective journeys. But here is what makes everything so exciting. Eala is closing that gap. She is not standing still. She has already shown incredible improvement, and the evidence is right there in her results. She defeated Jasmine Paolini in her last match, which is not something you do unless you are playing the best tennis of your career. And right now, at this particular moment in time, Alex Eala is doing exactly that. She is playing the best tennis of her life, and she is coming for everyone, including Coco Gauff. If they continue to train together to push each other, to share knowledge and feed off each other's energy, this is going to become one of the most exciting partnerships and eventual rivalries in the WTA, a deadly duo that will have every opponent thinking twice. What makes their partnership so effective goes beyond just talent. It is about contrast. Coco brings the American power game. She brings the experience of winning major titles, the mental toughness that comes from learning how to compete under the brightest lights, the tactical wisdom that only comes from years at the top. Eala brings something just as valuable, a freshness, a hunger, and an infectious willingness to learn that lights up every room and every court she steps onto. When you combine those elements, something magical happens. You get players who push each other to be better every single day. You get an environment where growth is not just possible, it is inevitable. And beyond all of the tennis, beyond the stats and the results and the rivalries and the implications for Sabalenka's grip on the sport, what is truly heartwarming about everything happening right now is that Alex Eala and Coco Gauff are genuinely enjoying each other. This is not a manufactured story. This is not a publicity stunt designed to create buzz or sell tickets. When you watch them together, you see two young women who actually like each other, who respect each other deeply, who laugh together between drills and celebrate each other's good shots with a kind of authentic joy that you simply cannot fake. The way they communicate on the court, the ease and warmth between them, it tells the whole story. This is real friendship combined with fierce competitive spirit, and that combination is one of the rarest things you will ever find in professional sports. Tennis can be a lonely, brutal sport. It is one against one, and there is no teammate to share the burden. But moments like this, connections like this, remind us that even in an individual sport, there is room for genuine human connection, for mentorship, for community, and for the kind of mutual support that makes champions out of contenders. Sabalenka can feel the shift happening, and the regret of not building these kinds of bonds, of not investing in the community of the sport, is something that is becoming more visible with every passing tournament. Meanwhile, Coco and Eala are building something that goes beyond rankings and trophies. They are building a legacy together, and the best part is they are only just getting started.